light there. Hi, it's Saturday morning, July 17th. This is Tana from the Espanola Fitness Studio, representing Bridge to Health, New Mexico. Hope you all are having a beautiful weekend. It's gonna get some more light here. We're talking about sleep, but we don't want it too dark in here. All right, guys, this is our second presentation on sleep. I may have to cut it just a little bit short. My day has blown up a little bit, like I'm sure happens to you sometimes. So if that's the case, we'll still get in all our information. Remember, if you have any questions about anything I talk about in these health educations, please feel free to text or call 505-591-4200 or email me, director@bridgetohealthnm.org. Yes, or check out our website, bridgetohealthnm.org. All right, guys, sleep. Oh my gosh, so important. Maybe some of you are watching this as you're just waking up from a good night's sleep or a bad night's sleep. And so you really are feeling how important sleep is. So hope you enjoy this presentation. I'm going to share my screen with you now so that you can see what I'm talking about, and I will come back after I have shared the screen. So let me just share quickly. There we go. Looks like I'm on the right spot. Get that out of the way. Technology, huh? Let's see. There they are. All right, let's present from this slide. I usually do this on my tablet, and today I'm doing it on my computer, so things always look, there we go, a little different. Is it gonna work? I know you guys are used to technology also, so you're forgiving when it takes a moment here to get going. Okay, sleep. Let's talk about it. Sleep is an essential function that allows your body and mind to recharge. That's something that we know intuitively, but maybe it's been a while since somebody told you that you cannot stay alive if you don't sleep. Healthy sleep helps your body remain healthy. We all know we should eat vegetables and fruits and we should exercise, but rarely do we think how important sleep is to staying disease-free. Without enough sleep, we simply cannot function properly. There are some really great podcasts, articles, books, studies, different things that you can read about sleep. I definitely encourage you to do that after you listen to this, if it's a topic that piques your interest. Interesting facts about sleep I want to go over with you today. I think I want to go over, why is it not? There we go. We'll just do them all at the same time. That's okay. Okay, number one, we spend about 1/3 of our time on planet Earth sleep. And until 25 years ago, scientists didn't research sleep very much. It was just taken for granted. And then suddenly somebody said, something that our bodies have to do for 1/3 of the time that we're alive must be pretty important. So they really started to study it in earnest, and some really interesting stuff has come out of that research that I'm going to share with you today. Number two, in the days leading up to a full moon, people go to bed later and sleep less, although scientists don't quite understand the reason for that. The full moon has a big effect on our bodies. When I was growing up, my mom worked in the night shift in hospitals, and she said that hospitals and emergency rooms were really, really, really crazy on the full moon. And so I grew up always knowing that the full moon really affected our sleep and our behavior, but now it's been proven besides just what mom said. Number three, if it takes you less than 5 minutes to fall asleep at night, you're probably sleep deprived. Ideally, falling asleep should take 10 to 15 minutes. I love that one because most of us panic if we aren't asleep within 5 minutes of laying down. So the next time that you lie down to go to sleep, celebrate if it takes you about 10 to 15 minutes to fall asleep, because it means that you are well rested. Interestingly, number 4, sea otters hold hands when they fall asleep so they don't drift away from each other. Isn't that so sweet? Number 5, tiredness peaks twice a day for all human beings, usually around 2 a.m. and 2 p.m. That's why you're less alert after lunch. We're going to talk about napping later today, but napping is really, really healthy at about 2 p.m. So I encourage you to take a nice, healthy power nap today. If you have trouble getting up on Monday morning, you can blame social jet lag from your altered weekend sleep schedule. We do best, like we're going to talk about later in this presentation, when we wake up and go to sleep at the same time every day. Most of us don't do that on the weekends. We allow ourselves to sleep in or stay up a little bit later. So if you feel crummy on Monday morning, that's why. Number 7, we are the only mammals that willingly delay sleep. We're so weird. Humans are so weird, right? If we were more like animals, we might feel better. And if we were tired, we simply lay down wherever we are and fall asleep. Stress, physical or mental illness, living or sleeping arrangements, family history, shift work, which means sleep, having to work at nighttime. Your diet and exercise habits can all contribute to insomnia. Insomnia is the inability to fall asleep. Number 9, finding it hard to get out of bed in the morning is a real condition called dysania. It may signal a nutritional deficiency, depression, or other problems. My oldest son, who's 18, has always truly struggled to get up in the morning, and poor guy. So it's not only his fault, it's probably something happening in his body also. Maybe you can relate. A few more facts here. Insomnia is not defined by the sleep that we lose each night, but by the drowsiness, difficulty concentrating, headaches, irritability, or other problems it can cause during the day. So insomnia is not defined by the number of hours of sleep you get, but rather by how you feel afterwards. English bulldogs are the only canines or dogs known to experience sleep apnea, a breathing disorder. Their unusual airway anatomy with their pushed noses and their underbites is probably the reason. Your dental state in your jaw, your mouth, your teeth do affect your sleep. So if you have problems, go to the dentist. Number 3, being awake for 16 hours straight decreases your performance as much as if your blood alcohol level were 0.05. It's pretty amazing, right? Driving while drowsy can be as dangerous as driving while drunk. In the 17th century, getting up in the middle of the night was normal. People slept in 2 segments divided by an hour or 2 of alertness. Time for reading, praying, intimacy, or socializing with others. Interesting, right? When was the last time that you got up in the middle of the night and did something? If you did, no, it used to be normal. Going without sleep is likely to make you hungry. We've talked about this before, right? When we talked about hormones, remember, when you are sleep deprived, your leptin levels, which is your hunger hormone, which is your satiety hormone, increases, makes you more hungry. What happened? Oop. Uh-oh, Cleveland Clinic is opening up. Hold on, guys. Where did my slides go? Technology, it's coming. Hold on. I'll be patient if you be patient. You go ahead and take a nap. There we go. Okay, there we go. You're less likely to have a traffic accident when daylight savings time ends. Statistics show that the extra sleep makes a big difference in your driving. Okay, took it out of presentation mode, but that's okay. Give me a moment. I need to get back to the right slide. Holy schmoly. If I told you what this day has been like already, I'm not surprised that I'm having problems with my slides here. I'll just tell you the story while I'm here. I forgot my keys this morning to come into the office. So another instructor was coming in, so I just had to wait for her, but I did have to do a coaching session outside on the porch, which it's a beautiful morning, so that worked well. Then I realized I forgot my charger for my tablet, which I usually do this time with you on. So had to get some stuff going on my computer to make it work. And now we're having these problems. So it's just going to be that kind of day, right? May your day be less troublesome. Let's see, where's our slide here? Should be about 54. It should be about there. Let's see if she comes in. Oh, perfect. I think. Let's see, where are we? We're talking about exercise here in those slides, and sleep comes right after exercise. So just give me a moment. I wish you guys were actually on with me here, because then you could tell me how your sleep is going and we could troubleshoot together how to increase your sleep. But you guys aren't on with me here at 9:30 in the morning. Where are we? Come on. There we are. Slide 72. Okay. Shall we try to present from here? Fingers crossed. I think it's going to work. Oh, you guys are very patient. Thank you. It's a Saturday. We shouldn't have to deal with technology on a Saturday, right? We should be out in the mountains, in the rivers, with family, in the kitchen. Here I am with technology. Come on. Is it going to come? Yes. Oh, okay. Getting through the bulldogs, getting through the 17th century, getting through leptin. Good. Okay, here we go. One job in early English mill and factory towns was to knock on people's windows to wake them up for work. Wouldn't you hate that job? It's awful to wake people up. Sleeping on the job is less of a problem in Japan. Companies may accept it as a sign of exhaustion from overwork, and they allow people to go sleep and take naps. Some car rental contracts make you promise not to drive on fewer than 6 hours of sleep because they know how dangerous and therefore expensive it is for them if you do that. Insomnia is often a normal part of grieving. Taking sleeping pills can disrupt this natural process. So what that means is that sometimes with insomnia, when you think about other things that are going on in your life, just accept that you have insomnia and stop fighting it. It's okay. You're going to feel crummy because grieving does make you feel crummy. Lots of things in life can make you feel crummy, and they can't always be fixed with a pill. So I think that's a really important one for us all to understand. Regular exercise usually improves your sleep patterns. The exception is really hard, strenuous exercise right before you get to bed, because that makes your cortisol spike. Cortisol is a stress hormone, and you don't want that to happen right before you go to sleep. Today, 75% of us dream in color, but before color television only 15% of us did. Our world is more colorful now. Whales and dolphins literally fall half asleep. Each side of their brain takes turns so they can come up for air. So interesting. And finally, one of our biggest sleep distractions is 24-hour internet access. Having access to all the information in the world is wonderful in so many respects, but has not been good for our sleep. So we have to control it on our own. We're going to talk about that when we go over sleep hygiene in a few minutes. Real quickly, your circadian rhythm is a 24-hour internal body clock connected to the sun that controls our sleep cycle. It's linked to adenosine, which is a hormone produced in the brain. And when you feel that foggy-headed, really need to sleep feeling about 2 p.m. today, it's adenosine that's built up in your brain. You need to sleep to clear out the adenosine. Don't underestimate the effect of light on your circadian rhythm. If you've ever lived without electricity, you know that when the sun goes down, you get tired, and when the sun comes up, you wake up. With artificial light through electricity, we can stay up much later. So if you are struggling with insomnia, you want to go to bed earlier, turn those lights off earlier. If you have a hard time waking up in the morning, make sure your bedroom is bright at the time that you want to wake up. As natural light disappears in the evening, your body is going to release melatonin, another hormone that's the opposite. Excuse me, it's not the opposite, but melatonin, a hormone that produces drowsiness in your brain. Real quickly, how much sleep do you need? Most of you are adults or older adults, so you can check it out there. You can check out for the rest of your family members in that chart. You probably need between 7 and 9 hours of sleep a day. Sleep is just as important as exercise and diet when you're trying to lose weight. A major review found that short sleep duration increased the likelihood of obesity by 89% in children and 55% in adults. Another study followed 60,000 non-obese medical nurses for 16 years. At the end of the study, the nurses who slept 5 or fewer hours per night were 15% more likely to be obese than those who slept at least 7 hours a night. Many sleep disorders like sleep apnea, which is the closing of the airways as you sleep, are worsened by weight gain. So you can see your weight and your sleep are integrally connected. When you don't get enough sleep, your body makes more ghrelin, the hunger hormone, and less leptin, the satiety hormone, which leaves you hungry and increases your appetite. Cortisol, stress hormone we already talked about today, is higher when you do not get enough sleep. Lack of sleep actually alters the way your brain works. This makes it harder to make healthy choices and resist tempting food. Being sleep deprived actually dulls the frontal lobe of the brain. That is the part of the brain that is in charge of decision-making and self-control. So you can see how that would affect the food you eat and how much of it you eat. Also, the reward centers of the brain are more stimulated by food when you're sleep deprived. That means food tastes better. Bad food tastes better. Your reward centers are on fire. They want to be rewarded. It's like a spoiled 4-year-old wanting to be rewarded for something. Lack of sleep can increase your affinity for foods that are high in calories, carbs, and fat. They make you crave them. They make them taste better. Also, just being awake more hours of the day means you have more availability to eat. There are few people who can eat while they're asleep. You sleepwalkers, maybe you can. There is a condition where people eat when they're asleep, but it's not very common, so most of us are not eating if we're sleeping. So if you're trying to lose weight, sleep more. Sleep deprivation may decrease your resting metabolic rate. And that happens because it lowers your muscle mass, makes you lose muscle. When you have more muscles, your resting metabolic rate is higher. So it's a cycle. When you're sleepy, you're less likely to exercise. So that's another way that sleep affects your weight. Poor sleep is one of the factors that leads to insulin resistance. You guys who have diabetes certainly are aware of that. Okay, here we go, guys. I think it's 12 ways to sleep better. Number one, stick to a sleep schedule. We talked about that. Sleep schedule, whether it's the weekend, whether it's vacation, whether it's a work day. Go to sleep approximately the same time, wake up at the same time. It'll make everything much easier. Don't exercise too late in the day. We talked about that. Cortisol peaks. You want to take it down before you go to sleep. Avoid caffeine and nicotine. Ideally all the time. I mean, caffeine, you don't have to avoid all the time. Nicotine, avoid all the time. Caffeine, nothing really in general after 3:00 p.m. Avoid alcoholic drinks before bed. You may feel like that nightcap helps you fall asleep, and it actually might help you fall asleep, but what it's going to do is wake you up in the middle of the night. Alcohol has been shown to make you drowsy, therefore easier to fall asleep, but then a few hours later, it sends a message to the brain to wake up. So if you're struggling with that, it might be that nightcap you're enjoying. Avoid larger meals and drinks at nighttime. Having a full stomach, full intestines just doesn't feel good at night. If you have to get up to pee a bunch at night, it can be hard to go back to sleep. If possible, avoid all medicines that delay or disrupt your sleep. Don't nap after 3. Personally, I think if you're taking power naps, like 15-minute naps, 15, 20-minute naps, you can kind of do that anytime. But if you're talking about a longer nap, probably after 3, not such a good idea. Make sure to leave time between your day and when you want to go to sleep to unwind. That might be taking a nice slow walk. It might be reading a book. Do try to have it not be related to a screen. If you are using a screen, make sure your blue light filters are on. That's a setting in your settings of really almost all devices now. There's actually a circadian rhythm setting in a lot of mobile devices now. You can set that in settings, and the phone, because it's so smart, knows when the sun comes up and the sun goes down, and it adjusts the display light on your device to match the circadian rhythm. Just that set, you won't even notice the difference. Take a hot bath before bed if that's something that helps you. Have a gadget-free bedroom. Electronic-free bedrooms are ideal. No TV, no cell phone, no tablets, nothing that has notifications or reminders. If you need an alarm clock, buy an alarm clock. They cost like $5 now because nobody's using them, right? You don't have to have your cell phone as your alarm clock if it's causing trouble with your sleep. Back to light, you need the right sunlight exposure. A really good thing to do to get your circadian rhythm back on track is to get morning sunlight directly in your eyes. So go out in the morning sun without sunglasses on for at least 10 minutes. I know that might sound like the opposite of what your eye doctor is telling you for the health of your eyes, and certainly don't look directly in the sun. But if you take a walk in the morning, go without sunglasses for at least 10 minutes of that walk. That will help send the message through the eyes to the brain to really coordinate with the light. And number 12, don't stay in bed if you can't sleep. If you have insomnia, get up, do something like they did in the 17th century. pray, meditate, wash the dishes, write your novel, whatever you need to do. Don't exercise unless it's stretching or yoga or Tai Chi or something gentle like that. Okay, finally, your homework is to work on all 12 ways to get better sleep. Okay, that was a quick, another half an hour presentation on sleep. We're not going to do a full hour on sleep. Really, half an hour covers it. So if you guys have questions about your particular sleep, you have comments, you have other things I didn't talk about that you know about sleep, you want other people to know, go ahead and comment in the comments after this is up on YouTube. And as always, if you need help with health behavior change, contact us here at Bridge to Health New Mexico, 505-591-4200, or our website, bridgetohealthnm.org. I'll see you next week. Bye.